Today we're talking about all the various components you can get if you upgrade your pledge to get in the alpha. These are the kind of things, the ship components that you'll be able to get your hands on if you get in early. The first one we'll look at is the directional shield, the super directional shield actually. This is unlike other shields in that it's a turret, so you control which way you aim the shield. And it's also the only shield that will stop missiles, which makes it very, very, very useful. It's also extremely powerful. It's very hard to wear down the directional shield. Even like heavy laser fire won't do much to it. But you'll notice, even if small fighters get past the shield, they can still hurt us pretty badly, which is exactly what's happening here. So you do have to pick your battles where you use the directional shield. The next up is the fighter decks and shuttle decks. We'll look at the smallest one here, the SSN shuttle deck. You can launch any of your previously designed ships from shuttle decks. They take a lot of power and a lot of crew, but they do give you a lot of benefits. Here we're choosing a fighter that we made much earlier in the game. There he is, he weighs 27. This fighter deck has a weight limit of 40, so we'll only be able to launch one of these fighters off of this fighter deck. But it's a pretty good one, so it should be quite helpful here. We're in a defense platform capturing level now. So you can see we're capturing this first platform while our little green triangle fighter there goes after the first wave of incoming pirates. He's taken out one on his first pass. They're trying to capture these platforms as well, so we'll clean these guys up, and my fighter will give me some support while I'm trying to shoot these guys down. He's doing a pretty good job, except he's a little bit too fast for these, but his speed will come in handy now. While I sit here and capture this platform, he will go and try and take out the other pirate who is trying to capture the other platform. And he got him on his first pass. That was some pretty good work from the fighter. So fighters can be very useful, even with just one fighter like that. You can get many more fighters going at once if you use one of the other flight decks. That's the 2255 flight deck. This is the tri-stage flight deck. That one's a little bit better because it's armoured, so it won't get destroyed on your first pass. It's got a tonnage of 100, so we can load a lot more into it. This fighter that we've chosen has a mass of 42, which means we'll be able to launch two of them off of this. Another thing that will help is we've got the conning tower as one of our crew components, and the conning tower will boost the performance of any fighters that you launch off your fighter deck, so they'll be faster and more accurate and overall much more useful. And we've also equipped this ship with the SSN Defense Buddy, which is a point defense system, which you've probably already encountered if you played the demo. It's extremely useful for shooting down missiles. In fact, that's all it does, but it's very good at its job, and it's one of the real serious defenses against missiles. So you can see our fighters are on their way in. Unfortunately, we've lost one of our fighters already. The other one's still alive. But mostly we're showing off here is that our missile defences and our laser defences are taking down all these torpedoes that are aimed at our ship. So we've got a real torpedo Armageddon coming in here, but our defence lasers managed to take them all down quite nicely, right on time. And as far as fighter decks goes, you can even move up to bigger than fighter decks. This is the shipyard, which has 500 tons of capacity, which means that you can launch other superclass ships off of your ship. Next up is heat sinks. Sometimes you just won't quite have enough power to build that ship that you really want. So to get that little bit of extra boost, you can use a heat sink. In this case, we need 50 more power, and we've only got 29 crew to spare. Heat sinks will give you more power than you use in crew, which makes them extremely useful. But the drawback of heat sinks is that they are like the almost the boss battle weak points of the superclass ships. You have to have the heatsink positioned on the top layer of your ship for it to work. And it's extremely vulnerable to enemy fire. If the heatsink takes a hit, then that will feed back damage into the rest of your ship and cripple you very badly. And here's a new weapon. This is the ship designed entirely around the weapon. This is the distant action gun. I've built this ship to be extremely manoeuvrable so that I can aim this gun. There we go. It doesn't have a very large splash damage. In fact, it only damages the exact point that it hits. But the damage that it does do is guaranteed to destroy anything that it touches. So you'll see here, the ship is manoeuvrable enough that I can wave it around like a lightsaber and completely decimate almost any ship. And then of course we've got, well, you might recognise this level as the station attack level from the demo, which no doubt took a long time to get through, but because I'm using my double-barreled nuke launcher ship this time, well, you'll see how powerful nukes are. The first line of defences is already gone, the second wave of nukes is on its way in, and that station is dead. But there's very large splash damage on the nukes, and as you can see, I've almost wiped myself out by being too close. And also, my mutineers also have a nuke shooting ship, so I may be in some trouble here. Yes, I don't think I'm getting out of that one. So get in on the alpha to get your hands on all these components and a lot more. You'll be able to give us feedback and ideas about what you want and what direction you want the game to go in. It's easy to get in, just upgrade your pledge to ambiguous win class and you'll be automatically in the alpha. Plus it will really help push us across the finish line. Thanks for watching, and keep on telling everybody you know.